It began as a late-night message from a girlfriend, a simple invitation, or so he thought. 16-year-old Trey Dean Wright left his home in Johnsonville, South Carolina, never realizing he was walking straight into a trap. By the end of the night, Trey would be dead, shot on a dark country road in what police describe as a planned execution. Behind it all, a teenage love triangle, a circle of betrayal, and a group of young suspects now facing the most serious charges imaginable. Trey Dean Wright wasn't a celebrity. He wasn't wealthy or infamous. He was just a kid, 16 years old, a student at Johnsonville High School. Friends describe him as cheerful, outgoing, and easy to get along with. His family remembers him as someone full of potential, the kind of boy who made everyone laugh. But like many teenagers, Trey's life included drama. He was in a relationship with Gianna Kistenmacher, a 17-year-old girl, and their relationship was complicated by another presence, Devin Scott Raper, 19 years old. To Trey's friends, this was just typical high school jealousy, but in reality, it was the foundation for something far darker. On the night of June 24, 2025, Trey received a message from Gianna. She asked him to meet her on a rural road, First Neck Road, just outside Johnsonville. It was late, around 11:30 p.m., but Trey agreed. Why wouldn't he? This was his girlfriend, someone he trusted, but investigators say Gianna knew something Trey did not. She knew that Devin Raper would be there, waiting, and he wouldn't be empty-handed. When Trey arrived at the dark stretch of road, witnesses say there were several people already gathered: Gianna, Raper, and a small group of teenagers. At first, voices were raised. An argument broke out. Then, the moment turned deadly. Raper pulled out a shotgun and fired. Trey was hit in the chest. He collapsed, mortally wounded. Despite frantic efforts to save him, he was later pronounced dead at the hospital. What happened next was chaos. Neighbors reported hearing gunshots echo through the night. Others said they saw cars racing away. Deputies from Florence County rushed to the scene. On the road, they found Trey, barely clinging to life. Nearby, they discovered disturbing evidence. 2 shotguns, one lying near the road, another hidden beneath a tree about 80 yards away. Forensic testing showed that at least one had been fired 3 times. Witnesses described a white Mazda SUV speeding from the scene, packed with teens. And then came the detail that shocked investigators most. Police say one of the teenagers filmed the shooting on a cell phone. Instead of calling for help, someone pressed record, capturing Trey's final moments. Within hours, investigators had suspects, and within days, multiple arrests were made. Devin Scott Raper, 19, charged with murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. Gianna Kistenmacher, 17, Trey's own girlfriend. Prosecutors allege she played a crucial role by luring him to the ambush. Hunter Matthew Kendall, Corinne Elizabeth Belviso, and Sydney Marissa Kearns, arrested and charged for assisting in the setup. Several other minors were implicated, though their names have not been released due to age. Under South Carolina law, there's a doctrine known as the hand of one is the hand of all. This means that when multiple people act together in a crime, every participant can be held equally responsible. So even though Raper pulled the trigger, the entire group now faces the possibility of spending their lives in prison. So why did it happen? Why would a group of teenagers plot something so violent? According to investigators, the motive was simple and terrifyingly ordinary: jealousy. Trey was dating Gianna. Raper wanted Gianna. Tensions escalated. Arguments grew more hostile. There were threats. Some reports suggest there were even provocative messages exchanged on Snapchat and other social media in the days leading up to the crime. For Gianna, the role she played is still unclear. Did she knowingly set Trey up? Was she pressured? Or was she caught between 2 young men in a deadly triangle? These are the questions investigators, and now prosecutors, are still trying to answer. For the small town of Johnsonville, the case was like an earthquake. Parents were horrified that teenagers, kids not much older than high school juniors and seniors, could be involved in such a brutal murder. Community leaders warned of the dangers of guns mixing with teenage disputes. Sheriff T.J. Joy called the crime a planned execution. In his words, this was no accident, no sudden fight. It was organized. And for the families, the impact is devastating. Trey's loved ones must live with the loss of their son. The families of those arrested must face the possibility that their children could spend decades, even lifetimes, behind bars. The case raises larger questions that go beyond Johnsonville. How do ordinary teenage rivalries escalate into deadly violence? Why didn't anyone in the group step up to stop it? What role did peer pressure and the desire to fit in play? And perhaps most disturbing of all, why did someone choose to record the murder on video instead of preventing it? In many ways, the Trey Wright case reflects deeper issues in American society. The easy availability of guns, the pressure of teenage relationships, and the dangerous culture of filming everything for social media. As of now, the suspects remain in custody. Some have been granted bond. Others, including Raper, remain behind bars. The trials ahead will determine who is guilty and what sentences they may face. But for Trey's family, no verdict will ever bring him back. His story is now frozen in time. A 16-year-old boy lured out into the night, betrayed by someone he trusted, and killed in a moment of teenage jealousy. The murder of Trey Dean Wright is not just a story of one boy and one town. It is a reminder of how fragile life is, how quickly jealousy can turn deadly, and how one group of reckless decisions can destroy countless lives. For Trey's family, the pain will never fade, and for the teenagers charged, the consequences are only just beginning.